I got a call today, and I think it's important to talk about. It was a situation where they called me and they told me the kid is off the derech, the kid is Machal Shabbos, the kid went through trauma, they know about went through trauma, the kid is stealing, the kid is lying. There's like a lot of problems going on. Unfortunately, this kid abused younger family kids sexually and other people in the community. He's a sex offender. The police know about it. He gets drunk. He goes out and violates his terms of his parole. And I mean, the amount of stuff that they don't have good shalom bayis. There's a lot of fighting, screaming, and yelling in the house. And he gets very, very threatening, and he can get very violent, and he threatens to kill himself, and he threatens to kill his mother, and he threatens to kill his father. And they're talking about this like huge amount of tsaris and tsarisayim, you know. It's horrible. It's horrible. And they can't breathe, and they can't live, and they don't want to throw him out. People say throw him out. They can't lock him out. They tried locking him out. He was homeless for a few days. He came back home banging on the door and begging for this. They don't give him money. The whole thing. Fine. It was a situation also for a couple of other reasons. I didn't feel I was the right person to help them. I felt that it was out of the realm of my experience for reasons that I can't even share. It's just there were a couple of, like, a lot of it is exactly what you're all here for. You know, everyone's a little different, but my category. And then there was a neurological issue that I didn't feel that there were like 3-4 different things that, okay. So I said, I'm really sorry. I don't feel that it's in the realm of my experience, which about 9 out of 10 calls that I get, that's what I say. I'm not a trained therapist. I just know very deeply the little bit that I know, but once it's out of that, I don't have experience, and I don't learn on people, and I don't want to get experience. I don't want you to be my guinea pig. And so I'm really sorry. And they were crying because they said, no, we heard, we need you. We've been going through it. They spent so much money on professionals, blah, 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 blah. What's my point? So I'm schmoozing a little bit with them. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to give you advice. You have to find the right person to tell you how to give him money, to not give him money, to this, to that, all these details. But besides for those details, you have to treat him nicely, because if you don't treat him nicely, then you're going to have an enemy living at home. So then they both told me, we treat him horribly. They said, we put him down constantly. We yell at him, we criticize him, we say, why are you doing this, how come you're doing this, and then they pick fights with him about like your shirt, you're a schlump, when are you going to get a job, like about other stuff, aside from whether to give him money or not that he might use for drugs, and then he might hurt somebody, aside for all of the big problems that they have that they don't know how to deal with. They created all these little problems that they have. They take away his phone, so he shouldn't watch on Shabbos. So then he blows up and he gets violent and he starts banging the door, and then they have to call the police. That's unnecessary. He got Netflix, so he watches Netflix all day. He should be getting a job. He's totally tzebrachen. Okay, he's not at all his age, which is mid-20s, and for years they're fighting with him. So I feel like it's unnecessary, but I'm going to tell you the things that I told them, because apparently when you're in it, it's very hard to see. So I'll tell you what I told them. I said, listen, I'm not giving you advice. Could be once a month or once a week or once a day. Whoever's advising you is going to tell you how to deal with him. But anything else, do not fight with him. Don't be putting him down. He's tzebrachen. He feels like a nobody, a nothing. He was stabbed. He has a life of pain, tons and tons of pain. And now on top of that, my mommy and daddy don't like me. They don't hold of me. They think I'm a schlump, and why'd you leave this here? And you're criticizing him? I said, that's just mean. I said, that's just taking a tzebrachen person, it's just cruel. It's cruel. I said, but if you're not sure, write it down. And if it worked, then you could decide with the expert if you should do it or not. But if it doesn't work, and it didn't, then why are you doing it? So we divided it into categories. First thing is, let's say he wants to go out at night, and they're told, which we don't even know, and they're told, don't let him go out at night. So you have if you stop him from going out at night and you break his arm, for example, right? But he doesn't go out. Okay, I don't like the method, but at least he didn't go out. But if you break his arm and you shoot him, right, and you stab him, and he goes out anyway, so then write down, we cannot stop him from going out. So why do you have to go through that whole fight? What did you accomplish? You didn't accomplish anything. Okay. We take away his phone, so he shouldn't do something. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but let's say you think it is the right thing to do, right? Now, the last 10 times, what was the result? He stole your phone, he lit the house on fire. Did it work? No. He got his phone back, right? Okay, we don't do that anymore. Don't do anything that doesn't practically work. That's even if you were supposed to do it. Besides for the fact that I'm pretty sure you weren't supposed to do it. But does that make sense? Makes sense. Besides for those things that you have to fight over, that you're told to fight over, anything else, you don't fight over. You have enough problems, you don't make new problems that, oh, you didn't put the food away. You put the food away. I told them, you have a very big nisayon. You have a nisayon from Hashem, overwhelming. I don't wish it on my greatest enemy. I really don't. Wonderful people. They have like 100 other kids, normal, wonderful people, and then they got this kid. I said, but you have a test. It says you're not allowed to get angry. You're not allowed to put down another Jew. It was helpful that they're Chabad, so I get to say, the Rebbe would not want you to put down another Jew. That's like, besides for Hashem. What? Yeah, right? I said, he's a chelik l'kami mal, mamish. I get to say that. And then I said, what it says in Tanya? Rachmanus mevateles hasina. So if you feel like you hate him because he's ruining your life, because he's sick, Rachmanus, mercy, is mevatel those feelings of sinna. Okay, so I was able to use a lot of that stuff. I said, then you have to realize that every Yid is beloved to Hashem, and there's hope for him, and he's sent down here for a purpose, and et cetera, et cetera. I said, but you have a nisayon, because it's frustrating. Now, sometimes the nisayon is about the issue. You want to block him from going out. He's hurting somebody, fine. But then you have 100 other nisyonos that you want to get angry and you're frustrated and all of that. How do you expect him to be Ahmed ben Nisayan that he has, this broken child, if you, the healthy parents, are not Ahmed ben Nisayan? They're like, we can't not get angry at him. We can't not criticize him. I feel terrible. I really feel bad. I probably also couldn't. But that's your Nisayan. So if you can't control yourself, how do you expect him to be able to, a little kid, a broken kid, to be able to control himself? So we have to realize that we also have a nisayon of how to deal with him. Don't criticize him. Don't knock him. Don't put him down. I said, first of all, there's no healing benefit in that. And again, even on those issues, if you're told that you have to argue with him, right, that's about that. But what are you doing other stuff for? Like when they told that to me, it was at the end of the conversation and they let it slip. Oh, by the way, we knock him a whole day and we put him down and we yell at him, we scream at him, we criticize. I'm like, whoa. Like, I wasn't going to advise you on these big issues of how to, but these are pachim ketanim. These are little issues that you make. Like, why would you do this to yourself? Besides for the fact, he's going to feel like he's living in an environment that's not sustainable, which is going to make him need more drugs. He's going to curse you more. He's going to get angrier and angrier, and then he's either going to kill himself or he's going to kill you, or he's going to end up in the psych ward. Something very bad is going to happen. I could not live with someone criticizing me 100 times a day. Could you? And he's broken and has all kinds of issues, and he's on drugs. That's somebody, I think, if you add it up all together, that you want to be nice to. Okay? So unless someone tells you must do something, you should only be nice to him. And they were like, wow, yeah, that would really change everything. So, we did do it, and when we did it, we saw he was calmer. But we just couldn't keep on doing it. I'm like, I'm not judging you. But there you have it. There you have it. Especially when the going gets tough. And I said, even if you find something that you have to do to fight him under doctor's orders, so to speak, which I don't think they should, but I'm not giving them advice. So let's say they find somebody and he's for the once a year or the once a month or the once a week that they have to fight him. Even that, do it b'derech kavod. Do it b'derech kavod. Say, listen, I'm really sorry, but we were instructed that we cannot give you the car keys, whatever, and he's going to curse you, whatever, and say, we love you, we can't do it. Even if you have to put your foot down according to your expert. Even that should be done. But also, you have to tell him, not only I'm not giving you the kids, I hate you, you ruin our family, and you have bad breath. Why? Why? I hate the way you dress. You have bad fashion sense. Why are you knocking him more than what you're instructed to do if you're instructed to do? And I see that this is happening a lot because I got other calls similar that in addition to the actual problem of not knowing how to deal with it, the parents are so lost, wonderful people, so lost and so hurt and in so much pain that they cause additional problems that there is no healing benefit to. Like, even if you find someone who tells you have to do this or that, okay, but maybe there's a healing benefit in that. I don't agree, maybe yet, maybe no. But all of this new stuff, looking at a kid who comes down dressed not properly with those eyes and making them feel like a piece of garbage. Did that help? Does that help? No. So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Even if you're not told, like Gershon Edelstein says, and like so many of us, to buy the not sneezed clothing in order that she should feel comfortable so we can win her, even if not. And even if you're told to not, fine. But if what you're going to do now is not going to stop them, why are you doing it? And then why are you picking additional fights that have nothing to do with the fights that you're having? You left the cup out, you're a slob, your room looks like a pigsty. I'm like, you have massive problems. You're now looking to criticize your kid? So I think that this is not controversial for me to say for the families that are not under my guidance, that whoever is guiding you, and if you have to do something tough, it has to be b'derech kavod. You're not allowed to insult. You're not allowed to put down. Even if the guy says, which I don't understand why, you have to take away the phone. I got a call once from my mother. She said, you got to help me. I don't know who she was. You got to help me. I picked up the phone. You got to help me. It's an emergency. I took away my son or daughter, I don't remember, my kid's phone, iPhone, right? And so he grabbed the kitchen knife and he threatened to kill me if I don't give the phone back. What should I do? I'm like, I think you should give back the phone. I don't think it says anywhere that you have to sacrifice yourself. It's like, what should I do? Like, Nebuch people don't know. But let's say they get advice to put your foot down. Even that is b'derech kavod, without insulting. But everything else, for sure, only compliment, and anything that's not about that, compliment and fun and nice, and that's here what we have is a big split in Klal Yisrael. Because I don't find that happening. I've heard about certain individuals that do have a balance, that they're tough on the kids in ways that I would not approve of, but a lot of fun and a lot of compliments and whenever it's not about those issues, they're like super, there is that balance out there. And it's not going to work on our TP stage 4 kids, and I don't agree with it, bottom line. But, okay, they're a mensch. They don't degrade themselves as mother and father, screaming and yelling and losing control and being angry and putting their kid down and destroying an neshama. They have a balance, and they work it out. Either it works, it doesn't work, fine, but they're a mensch. So whatever you have to do, according to whoever is guiding you, or if you don't have guidance, if you're out there, which you should have guidance. Somebody else called me this week, and they said, there's no guidance. I said, they told me terrible situation. They weren't asking me for guidance, so I didn't really offer. Terrible situation, typical what we deal with. I said, you should be under guidance. There is no guidance. We went to many experts, and they all told us, daven, and that's all we can do. I'm like, I've never heard of that. Well, of course we daven, but there's so much to do. Like, they didn't even tell them the basics that, sulu mashkom ba'avoisei sahava, like the Chazon Ish, and none, like zero. Like, I don't know why they're going there on the WhatsApp group. I see this, whatever. I don't know exactly, whatever. Anyway, so if you have to do something keneged, like against, b'derech kavod, with a smile, I'm so sorry, apologetic, no anger, for sure not. It won't be helpful. Number one. Number two, anything that you think that you want to do, if it doesn't work, don't do it. You accomplish nothing. There's a family that came here. Before they came here, they locked all their doors. They got extra locks so the daughter could not escape the house at night because Nebuch, she was young and going out and doing bad stuff. And they turned on the alarm. So it would trigger if she went in the hallway. She jumped out of the second-story window. Okay? So if it would work, anything that you do that works, and you're told to do it, and it's done with their covered, that's the second category. If it doesn't work, don't stand in front of the door. Don't do crazy things. Don't be breaking stuff. Don't take stuff away. Nobody asked you to do that. I said, how do you know that for this kid that smoking weed is bad? They're angry at him that he smokes weed. He's like the most miserable human being in the entire world. He went through Gehenna. He had a childhood sickness and illness and terrible, terrible trauma. And now they decided weed is the worst thing in the world. So who told you? Who told you? Maybe weed is good for him. I said, how do you know if something is good or bad if you don't know what the other option is? So you're going to take away the weed, right? So what do they do? What does he do? He steals. So now they have another thing against him. He's a ganef, a manipulator, a liar. He lies to my face. Of course he does, because he needs to survive, because he's suicidal. He wants to kill himself. The weed calms him down, so it's like makes him feel a little bit normal. If it's not weed, it'll be something worse. They won't give him money, so he has to go ahead and sell stuff and steal stuff. And then when they confront him, he lies. So he's a liar. So he's a ganef, a liar, because you don't want to give him money. I'm not saying give him money or not, because I only say that when it's my kid. I'm just saying look at what happens. And then he's always trying to get stuff, so he's a manipulator. He's in survival mode, and his enemies are his parents, which is the absolute worst thing. Said, and besides for all of that, let's say, are you having fun with him? Well, he won't go with us. Do you compliment him? Did you buy him something for Yontif? He'll smash it. He'll break it. He'll say, you hate me. Why are you buying stuff? He said, this is not going to be able to exist. Unfortunately, this is a tragedy waiting to happen. A tragedy that I don't think any TP family has. Once you get in, we have some that in the beginning are hard. Once you get into that nefesh, into that, you get hooked, right? You get hooked. And the nafshik shub nafshay, that's it. That's it. Now we figure out what to do, what not to do, and how to do it, all of that. But for those who are without guidance or with bad guidance, everything else never, ever done with kas. No anger, no putting down. I got today such a beautiful email. I asked the guy if I can share it because I want to show you pictures. It's a very chashuva einikel of one of the big rabbis. A really chashuv, super chashuv. And he went totally off the derech. Totally off the derech. And the parents were makarif him with love and without rejection. And this went on many years. He's talking about like 15 years. He just got married now. He came back to be frum. He came back to be mamish like the family. Like mamish like this chashuva rabistava. Talmud Chacham, and he got married to an extremely frum girl. I mean, why? The parents didn't do bad stuff. They didn't say, I wish you were never born. How could you do this to me? If the tension is high, you're never going to get to the end zone. So lower the tension. Lower the tension.